What is up, everybody? Let's get into the video. We're gonna get right into it with the shout out and then the Bible verse and then the main video. So the comment goes as follows, and it comes from Xander. I already know where this is gonna go, but hey man, look, this is for you, man. So I don't want to hear nothing like I don't do nothing. Now let's get into it. Bro either forgot the Moon Knight vid or he's cooking. But for real, really enjoying the progression your channel is making. Enjoyed the introduction to the Bible verse. Like, I'm agnostic, but this is something I can get down with. And rocking with the collab. Please keep making more. Honestly, man, Xander, you have been a breath of fresh air on the channel. Like, honestly, you've been like so patient with me, on top of the fact that, yeah, you have just been like really enjoying the videos overall. And so, yeah, man, like, this video's for you, man, mainly. Now let's get into it. All right, we got a short and sweet Bible verse for today, and it goes as follows in Genesis 6:8. All right. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And I feel like we can all find grace in the eyes of the Lord. We just have to be so willing to embrace his love and all things that come with it. Now then, let's get into the main video.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, so Moon Knight. I don't particularly have the greatest impression of Moon Knight. I believe it's so painstakingly mediocre that it's not even funny. Like, it's not exactly trash, but it's not exactly blowing my socks off. It's literally just a definition of mid. Like, I can't really bring myself to be excited about talking about it per se, because it's not really a good show. You know what I mean? It tries to separate itself from the MCU, but still including it bits and pieces. And it's so weird to me, because it's like, if it's MCU, then just go balls to walls references. Because if you're not, then why even have the show be established in the established universe if the references are going to be like basically a wink and a nod? Like, nothing tangible at all. Like, literally. It's really weird. Like, they bring up the ancestral plane and we never see it. We never see a flashback or even a visual representation of what it looks like. You know what I mean? And they could have easily did some like magic mumbo jumbo to explain it, because it's just a grounded show dealing with a dude with multiple personality disorders and literally turning into like the Marvel equivalent to Batman whenever he's in the moonlight. And it's so weird to me, because like, for me, I like Moon Knight as a character. I think he's a more grittier version of Batman because he's willing to go there, and his feats of strength are easily explainable, unlike Batman. Because like, yeah, I feel like for the most part he's amped by Khonshu, so like that's where most of his strength and abilities lie. Of course, he has training in military special ops and things of that nature. He's basically stock guy before he gets powers. Insert villain and or hero. Like, you get my drift. You know what it's about. Like, you know. But aside from that, yeah, I do think that the show had a good 3 episodes before it lost me. You know what I mean? Like, the first episode was like not what you'd expect from an action MCU Marvel adjacent property. You know, it's very mundane at first, but there's a reason for the mundane attitude and, you know, just overall tone of the first few episodes. Like, it comes off horror, mystery, adventure, and I dig that. I wish they stuck to that. Then we could have got some really cool and sick imageries of Moon Knight, but unfortunately we didn't get that. Instead, it was like bare bones. I do like the fact that the costume has glowing eyes. I don't know why this was so hard for so long. Even at the time of them doing this, it was like, oh my god, look, his eyes. It's like, shouldn't this been easy? I don't get why this was so complex. But aside from that, yeah, no, I enjoy the physical look of Moon Knight when he's wearing the ceremonial armor of Khonshu. I think more than anything, this is probably the best way to do Moon Knight. Instead of having him literally a stock Batman clone, have a reason onto why he has so many weapons coming out of nowhere and out of his ass, you know, which is still cool to me. They didn't do the whole thing they did in the comics where like he was literally a Bruce Wayne clone. One of his personalities was rich, another one was a driver, another one was a... It's just like, instead of doing that, they just decided, hey, F it. Let's just like do our own thing with Moon Knight, but still have some Moon Knight isms. And I like the way they did it, personally. Like, I think the MCU did that very well. They did their own thing with it, and I appreciate it. Like, yeah, his weapons come out of ass nowhere, but he's literally being watched over by a god, so you get it. You know, it's magic. Get over it, you know? And people were making a big deal about how they're going to represent mental illness. It is a comic book show. Most things are going to be fantastical. You feel me? Within reason, at least in the established universe. So this being its own thing, I don't get why it was such a big deal at the time of like the shows coming out. Like, but aside from that, it's just an overall boring experience after episode 3. Like, they do a lot of things that standard Disney Plus like shows do towards the end of the show, like where they have like big CGI monster fight, huge stakes. And I'm like, why does this have to be the case every single Disney Plus show? I think the biggest problem is even at the time of Moon Knight coming out, the Marvel formula for shows and movies were literally the same, just stretched out through like a series format. And it was so predictable because they all do the exact same thing. Even Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, whichever you want to call it. Either way, Shang-Chi. Like, they did the same thing. So it's like, it's not really much that I really want to enjoy about it because a lot of it's predictable and a little unnecessary if you're gonna. We need a kaiju fight? Did we need that? No. And then like them pussyfooting around, like being a mature show was honestly one of the most annoying things to me because they'll have like some crazy shit go down, but we can't see it just because it's on Disney Plus. And it's like, dude, if you're gonna do it, then do it. Even a lot of the themes that were going for it that were really dark and mature, they did it so bare bones. It's like, this is dark, gang? I've seen worse. Literally, like, what is this? How is this supposed to be so deep and dark and gritty if you're too afraid to actually go there? Like, what? So you're telling me that Moon Knight is crazy because he got his ass whooped as a kid? Are you serious? Like, bro, stop it. Stop. No. Like, I'm not feeling it, Disney. I'm not. There's a better way to show an abusive parent so many different ways. I feel like if it was a guy, they would have had no problem showing the real abuse the kids would go through. And
Why do you have to make him do
I want to see what she did. I want to see what she did.
But whatever, that's just me though. You didn't hear it from me. I just think it's kind of crazy, like personally, like the show, it has so much potential, if not the most potential out of like the Disney Plus shows lineup at the time, because WandaVision was whatever. Okay, it was whatever. Cry me a river. But yeah, overall, I just think that Moon Knight, for what it tried to do, it didn't do a good job of doing it. It really didn't. The action scenes were very few and far in between. And for a character like Moon Knight, I feel like, yeah, why? Like, you know, you can still have action and still have it be a horror, mystery, whatever you want to go with. But then it loses that edge way before the end. So it's like, bro, what? You're losing steam this early? Like, dude, come on. Also, I will say, Khonshu looks amazing. Like, I love how Khonshu looks. His voice actor went crazy, honestly. And honestly, the dude who plays the Moon Knight, he could have packed on some more muscle. Honestly, I don't care what y'all finna say. Oh, it's more realistic. No. Superheroes are about power fantasy. We all know this. Why do we pretend like we gotta abide by that? Nigga, put on some muscle, bro. Like, go ahead and get on the Disney juice. We all know everyone's on it. Cut the shit. Cut it out. Stop. You know what I mean? It's just like, why do we do this? Why do we pretend a lot of the time? But aside from that, yeah, I enjoyed small pieces of it. And the grand pieces all together, even rewatching it with my brother, I was like, yeah, I was trying to get some enjoyment out of it because watching shit with him is always interesting. Even that couldn't save the movie, or excuse me, that couldn't save the show. And like, I really wanted it to, but it just didn't. So overall, yeah, once again, looking back on it, because I did videos on Moon Knight before, way back when, and it's just like, it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. It just kept getting worse every episode. And like, why? But that's just my take on Moon Knight. Let me know yours in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.